How's it going, folks? I'm Mark.
I'm Ladi.
And welcome to the Like Minded Lunatics channel. We're going to do a Metallica thing. And Ladi, I think we're going to publish this on a Ladi's Rockucation. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So can you tell folks what a Ladi's Rockucation is?
A Ladi's Rockucation is the videos where Mark is exposing me to music that I would never listen to on my own, which he's done a lot of. And I've learned a lot of stuff out there that I would never have learned without you.
And
this is one of them.
The two first ones we did were on Metallica.
Yes.
Because I was convinced that you needed to understand them. To understand me.
And I was convinced that I didn't have to because I've never listened to Metallica before, but they're really pretty interesting.
Yeah, and so they're just releasing their newest album, 72 Seasons. Now, do you know what that title refers to? We've talked about it on the channel some, but so 72 Seasons, the lead singer James Hetfield has said, obviously after having gone through therapy a lot, he read a book, and basically the book was about the first 72 seasons you experience, and whether or not, so those 72 seasons...
Is 72 years of your life?
No, 72 seasons is what you hit by the time you hit 18. So spring, summer, fall, winter.
Oh.
When you add those up, there's 72 of them by the time you hit your 18th year.
Okay.
And the self-help book was positing whether or not those 72 seasons cemented who you were as a human being or whether you were able to self-actualize and move beyond them. And apparently Hetfield was just consumed with that idea. Obviously, you know his background.
Yes.
With that idea about can I move past it or am I grounded in...
Is this me?
...who I am. And so this entire album is titled 72 Seasons.
Ah.
So yesterday, we're filming this on the 15th. Yesterday on the April 16th, they released the music video for...
14th?
Is it...
If today's the 15th, wouldn't yesterday be the 14th? I mean, I'm just asking.
You're absolutely right. I can't count. I can't.
I knew math was a problem for you. I just wanted to make sure that I was not in some time.
So if you were ever
something.
unsure about how big of a problem it was, this is a perfect example of that. Yesterday, which would be the 14th, you're correct.
Okay.
They released the music video for Sleepwalk My Life Away. I've not watched the video. I did read the lyrics, and I feel like you're going to be fascinated by them.
I'm excited.
So
I'm excited already.
Here's the other thing. I can't help but notice that you are, in fact, now wearing a Metallica shirt.
Oh, yeah. A friend of mine gave this to me.
That's awesome. So
this is a good shirt.
So you have a shirt now?
I have a Metallica shirt.
Beautiful.
I'll be wearing it more.
It's tradition to have a beverage with our video, and Ladi's going...
Sparkling lime.
I've got two queued up because I know it's a long song, so I'm going with a Devil's Backbone. That's a triple, and then Slipping into Darkness because I feel like that's probably thematically appropriate.
Yeah, I can see that.
So here we go, folks. We're going to take a look. This is the first look at the video for me and first reaction, full stop, for Ladi. Sleepwalk My Life Away. I'd say that's a lot more subdued and groovy.
It is. It's a nice beat.
It feels like a movie type thing, doesn't it? Like a beginning of a scene or something. And
even more than that for me, it just feels like it feels like I would dance.
That's what I mean. It's like a swing.
It's got a nice groove. Yes.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't either.
I don't know if we're going to change riffs.
Something tells me
that
we
probably
will be changed.
But I like the beginning of that. It's groovy. liking that a lot.
You know, his singing has really gotten impressive.
I think you're right. You know, as a younger man, you can hear he doesn't have like the scratch in his voice. You know, obviously it hasn't. But now it feels weather worn. It feels wise in a way that it didn't before.
But it also feels more musical. Because in a lot of his other stuff, it felt like he was just kind of yelling.
Yes.
And this does not feel like that. This feels like he is singing.
It does. It feels Joan Jetty to me.
Oh, I can see that. I can see that completely.
That whiskey-worn voice, that scratchiness.
Yeah, I love Joan Jetty. Yes,
and I love these lyrics, too. So we'll go over them, folks. Take a deep, waking breath. Hope the blood arrives. Burn my eyes with the sun and pretend I'm alive. It never will appear strong as past desire. Light warming disappears like a cold, dead fire. Should I fall down. Would you come around? That's a beautiful lyric.
It is.
And
it actually makes me sad. You always make me sad.
I don't mean to.
But this feels painful.
It does, but there's hope to it.
Yeah, but hope is painful.
But we've looked at Sad But True.
Yes,
like, there's no hope in that at all.
No, this is really nice.
What's interesting to me is he's reaching out here.
What's interesting to me is he's reaching out, and not just reaching out, but believing.
Oh. Seeing that reaching out can provide something.
That there's a value in just the reaching out.
That's wonderful. I didn't even think about that. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Wake me, caught in the spell I'm dreaming. Wake me, day after day repeating. Wake me, sleepwalk my life away.
My goodness, that's a great verse, right?
This is really good.
I like the imperative. Wake me. Like, you need to do this to help me.
But is he saying it to them, or is he saying it to him?
Oh, that's another one of those questions. I don't know. I feel like this one, at least in this part we've heard thus far, it does feel like there's an external person that he's calling on to help him.
Okay.
But you may be right. This might be one of those internal struggles, too.
Because everything he's ever done before feels like an internal struggle. But like we said, it does feel like he's reaching out. So maybe you're right. There is someone that he's reaching out to.
So I feel like I have more context than you on this one because I've reacted to other songs from this album.
Okay.
So on both Lux Eterna and When Darkness Had a Son and even Screaming Suicide.
When Darkness Had a Son, S-U-N, S-O-N.
S-O-N.
Okay.
In both of those, there does seem to be a reaching out to asking for help. And in Lux Eterna, there's an inclusive thing about people coming together and lighting a fire, lighting a light to lead the world.
Is this because of he's got grandkids now and he's just in a better place as a human being?
Watching the interviews, it does feel like in one of the interviews I watched, he specifically mentioned, like, this feels like way too much psychology is what he said. But he said that I'm struggling with whether or not who I was has written who I have to be. And I don't want that to be the case. And so it seems to me that this, at least the lyrics on this album, represent a real struggle of a man in his 60s trying to figure out if who he is all he's ever going to be, or if he can be better and more healthy. And all of the songs on this album thus far, Lux Eterna, and it's all released at this point by the time I'm recording this, but the first videos, Lux Eterna, If Darkness Had a Son, Screaming Suicide, they all did seem like striving to be better.
Aww.
As opposed to sitting in it, like Sad But True or Battery, or like some of those other ones where it's like, this is it. There seemed to be like this.
But you know what's interesting to me? This makes me, Anne Rice and all her vampire things.
100%.
This reminds me of the thing in there where they're talking about living forever and what changes. And what they say is you just become more fully the person that you are. But that doesn't mean that you're sitting in who you are.
Right.
That still implies a growth.
Yes.
It's just a growth in you.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like that from this album, that's kind of what I'm getting from it. Even the name, the whole concept of 72 Seasons, does that cement who I am mentally and psychologically? Even questioning that is a form of looking for growth.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like acknowledging that and even questioning it is trying to be better.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
And I think it's a lovely thought. And I think it's lovely that even as like a 60-something-year-old man,
He still wants better.
he's still doing it, and he's the front man of one of the heaviest bands of all time, and he's still asking those questions, forcing his audience
to ask them with him.
to ask them with him. It's leading from the front, which I love. Can we just say this video is beautiful?
Oh my God. This is amazing.
Gorgeous.
It's haunting.
Yes. Looks like they're on a different planet. Just beautiful.
Yeah.
Stagger on through the fall in the midnight sun, shouting out at the shapes of the nameless no ones. All isn't what it seems. Cannot comprehend it. Captive inside a dream where the dawn won't end it. Should I fall down. Would you come round? Wake me.
I really like how they're progressing from that bridge into the, what I guess is the chorus. Should I fall down? I fall down. Would you come around? You come around. Wake me!
Yeah.
Like that imperative. Help me!
Yes.
Wake me!
This is really, it's kind of a romantic song.
I agree with you.
It really is.
Set against heavy riffs. I'm into it.
Caught in the spell I'm dreaming. Wake me, day after day repeating. Wake me, sleepwalk my life away.
And I also love like the description of what is essentially like depression and stuff like that in this, because it does feel like that. I know we've both gone through dark times.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically a time where I was in my house. I didn't want to leave. Not drinking or anything. I just couldn't move. You know how that feeling?
Yeah.
Couldn't move. And I remember my friend Jason coming in. He had a key to the house that I don't think I'd given him. Jason, he just had it. And he comes in and he's like, "We're going fishing." I'm like, "I'm not, dude. I don't feel like. Get the fuck up. We're going fishing. I don't feel like it. Get in the truck." And he made me leave. And in that moment, that's what you need. You need that. And to me, that's what this song feels like. It's an acknowledgement that, like, I can't change things.
Will you help me?
Wake me.
Yeah.
I need it. Which I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing. like how that was structured too. It feels like a rising action of a movie, and now we're kind of on the other side of it, like on the, let me use a nerdy film term, the denouement, like on the opposite side of the rising action.
Yes.
That's what it feels like to me.
I like this. I like that. And it's seamless. What's so nice is it takes you here, and then it doesn't stop. It doesn't do anything. It just
Yes.
It gets quiet.
Different sections of like the song. Oh, it's so
beautiful.
great.
And you know what I like is the film itself. This all reminds me of the beginning of any horror movie. Where you've got all this stuff going on and you know there's something hiding out there.
Yes.
You just can't see it yet.
It actually reminds me of the beginning of Evil Dead. I don't know if you remember the beginning of that. There was like a sunrise, and then Sam cranks the video so that the sun sets really fast. And it reminds me of that.
Oh,
like
now I want to go see that again.
Very quickly, or maybe it was ED2. One of the Evil Dead 1 or Evil Dead 2. But Sam does this thing where the sun is setting, and then you can tell he puts the film in like high speed, and you can see the plants moving and stuff, and the sun sets real fast. That's what it reminds me of.
Now I've got to go see it.
You're right, yeah.
So much. This is such a nice song.
I am so shocked because I feel like the last few things we've done with them, you have actually enjoyed, as opposed to just learning about them.
I'm surprised too. Actually, I'm kind of surprised too. But it's. You know, I like things where people. I mean, we listen to other stuff. We listen to ACD, and there are lots of fun. But I like things that make you think.
Yeah,
and this feels like that.
It does, and I also like that there's no real answer to it. So we're at the end of the lyrics, essentially, and there's no real clear answer. Is this an internal struggle, or is he asking for external help? I love ambiguity in songs. I think it just makes them richer, as opposed to when they just tell you what they want you to think.
Oh, I agree. Because there's millions of people who are going to get millions of different ideas from this. It means something different to everybody.
Yes.
And why not leave it that way?
Yes. Especially with this message. Is it internal? If it's internal, asking yourself for help is a really great thing to do. If it's external, asking for external help is also a really healthy thing to do. Yes. So whichever reading you want to apply is
good.
Really positive.
Yeah.
It's so weird talking about Metallica. It was super positive.
It is.
And healthy.
No, this is beautiful.
Like they're all standing together. There's something about you being united like that at the end that I feel like really fits this song.
Oh, that's really haunting. That picture right there.
Yeah, fading out.
And the three almost shadow ghosts.
Yes, you're right.
That is the beginning of a horror movie, or the end of one.
Or the end of one. So Tim Saccatini has directed all of the videos thus far off of this album.
Is he someone they've worked with before? Is this
I should have looked that up. I don't know, but he's done all of them off. I know.
You're not doing the prep work, Mark? What's up?
I know. Well, I mean, that's indicative of this entire channel. That should be just asked of the channel in general. You're not doing the prep work? What? I showed up with beer. I did that part. I don't know.
That's true.
But he did direct everything off of this album so far.
So is everything else like this on the album?
Yeah. At least thematically, I feel like yes. Lux Eterna, I may have you listen to that off of camera, but Lux Eterna is the most hopeful, really beautiful song they've ever written. It's about people who are like-minded coming together, understanding that the world is broken, but knowing that together we can be better. It's a beautiful, beautiful song.
God.
Screaming Suicide, again, we've talked about this, doesn't sound hopeful, but it's essentially about going through suicidal ideation and then coming out of the other end of it. And like the last two verses are when the protagonist comes out the other side of it with help from friends. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So I feel like this entire album, like I said, is just one man's self-help poetry journal.
But this makes me feel so good for him just as a human being. Because everything that you made me listen, and I said made, and I don't mean made. I mean, he's not going to make, I could leave if I wanted to.
Right, there's a door right Y'all can't see it, but right there's a door.
But everything I've heard before, it's really sad and haunting and painful.
It is.
And this feels like the other side of that.
It does. It does.
So it makes me really happy and hopeful for him.
Do you want me to tell you? Hang on. I'll do a thing here.
Oh, not a thing.
I'll do a thing. So when I read that, I told you folks, I had read the lyrics, but I hadn't actually listened to the song. When I read the lyrics,
Pause.
like, this. Pause. All right, folks, listen. I'm sitting here editing this thing, and I feel like this reaction is turning out really, really well. It's going well. And then in the middle of the reaction, I make the ill-advised and foolish decision to try to pick up the goddamn guitar and play in the moment. That foolishness. Now, let me stress, I've only been playing a year, and I'm trying to juggle shooting, watching my monitors, talking to Ladi, and making my point. And I pick up this guitar, and I foolishly think, you know what, I'm just going to be able to launch right into a song without first having practiced the goddamn thing at all. What kind of a idiot decides to do that? It doesn't make a bit of sense. You know what my guitar playing is like at this point? It's like a 75-year-old former athlete who decides to go do something. You know, the body remembers how to do it, but the arthritis and the years of neglect mean that person needs to stretch a little, perhaps have a beverage of some sort before they start. And I didn't do that. Look at this. It's about to happen. Now I'm going to go ahead and apologize for it. And here's what I'm going to say. Number one, I've been playing a year, so back off. But number two, if you're going to bust my balls, be funny about it. All right? Be funny. Don't be mean. Be funny. If you want to say things like, hey, Mark plays like Marty at the end of Back to the Future when he's disappearing. Hysterical. Please say that. Or if you want to say, oh my goodness, Mark sounds like C.C. DeVille circa 1994. Perfect. Say that if you'd like. But don't be mean. Bust balls, but don't be mean. All right, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for it, but I stand by the point that I make here. So the point that this Mark is about to make, I do stand by that point. But at the outro, I'm going to rehook everything up and see if I can't goddamn redeem myself. All right, back to it. This is what it reminded me of, and I feel like you'll know this tune. If I just play a little bit of it, I think that you'll know it. But it reminded me of
Is
this.
it a Bee Gees song?
It is not, but I still feel like that you'll recognize this song because you're an American and a human being. So it reminded me of When the Night Has Come and the moon is dark and the only is I'll see.
Oh, I like this. I like this too.
I won't cry. I won't cry. No, I won't shed a tear.
Fucking embarrassing!
It reminded me of Stand By Me. When I read the lyrics, I was like, this is just another way to express I can't be alone. It's not good for me to be alone.
You see, and while I get this, I get what you're saying, that it's not good. To me, it's not good for me to be alone. It's join me.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't feel to me like that plea for help. It feels to me like
opening yourself up.
Yeah, just I want you to be here with me and for me, and I'm doing the same thing for you.
That's a beautiful idea.
That's how it felt. That's how it feels to me, because it really it's such a regardless of the music, which never really sounds happy to me.
Right.
These are happy words.
They are happy words. They're complex words.
Yes.
And they're conflicted words, but there is that I want to be better. I want us to be together, and only by being together will I be better.
Yes.
That's a gorgeous sentiment.
It is. It is, and it's a surprise for a Metallica song.
I know. Well, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this one. Ladi seemed to enjoy it.
I did. And this is a Rockucation. I'm learning something?
Yep, the Rockucation.
I like it. This is good.
Well, folks, let us know in the comments what you think. I am super happy about this album. Todd and I are going to see them in August in Arlington. They're doing a 2-night set. So
are you going to both?
We're going to both, the 18th and the 20th, and it's going to be a different set every night. So they're not going to do any repeats. Different sets every night. And here's the thing. I've been telling folks, Ladi, if you can find either me or Todd Wright, the co-founder of this channel, Todd's going to buy them beverages all night long. Isn't that generous?
Go just for this. Can I tell you one thing?
Go ahead.
I have a friend named Kathy, and she loves Neil Diamond.
Okay.
And her husband hates Neil Diamond. And Neil Diamond came to Houston. This was many, many years ago. And she said, he won't go with me. Will you go with me to see Neil Diamond?
Yes.
And I said, sure. I said, what night? Because he was playing 3 nights. Oh. She said, all of them. So there are people just like you who go see everything that's going on, and that's nice.
Well, they advertised it as it's 2 separate concerts. So essentially, they're not going to repeat any song.
So you're what you hear on one night, you will not hear the other night.
No.
Well, then you have to go to both nights.
And they did this. We saw them at Rockville in Florida. They did the exact same thing. They played 2 nights. The first night was completely different than the second. So repeated.
If they find you on the first night, do they get drinks for both nights?
I'm going to answer for Todd, yes.
Seems fair.
That's right, because Todd's paying for it. So if you find either me or Todd, oh my God, you're getting...
Do you think it'd be... I'm thinking of outlining this with pink or something, some kind of puffy pen to make it even more.
I think that would be gorgeous.
I think I'm going to...
The puffy purple around that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Or the yellow. It would match this.
We'll go with the video.
Puffy
I'm
yellow.
Have to do that.
I think you should, you should actually add to that shirt.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I can't wait.
All right, folks. Let us know what you think in the comments. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Adios.
Hey there, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that Ladi's Rockucation as much as Ladi and I enjoyed filming it. Please make sure you check out the entire Ladi's Rockucation playlist. We have a ton of stuff on there, and there's a lot of really fun, interesting content that I think you're going to like. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you check out our other playlists. The co-founder of Like Minded Lunatics does a segment we call Drink, Play, Swear. That's where Todd tries to play a game, have an adult beverage, and play and tell a story at the same time. It's a great time. You don't have to know anything about video games to make it fun. Also, we also have a Patreon here that I would like to tell you about. If you become one of our patrons, one of the things that you'll get access to is our entire library of Austin Music TV episodes. That's right, Like Minded Lunatics is not just a YouTube channel. We have a weekly television show that airs on Austin Music TV. Now, you can watch those episodes live as they air with the streaming link in every description here. But if you'd like access to the entire library, at this point, I think we have 55 episodes in the library, and we add new ones every week. You can become a patron. It doesn't cost you a whole lot, and you get access to all of that stuff while supporting our channel, which we would really appreciate. Now, as I was editing this, I noticed I jacked up Stand By Me, which is really embarrassing, but in my defense, I've only been playing about a year, and it's very hard trying to juggle everything. So I'm going to try to redeem myself as you look at our subscription stuff, think about becoming a patron. I don't even know what you're thinking about. It's a great deal, and there's a lot of content. But here we go. Let's see if I can't redeem myself with just the rhythm to this stupid thing. Here we go. Let's see if I can do a little bit of lyrics. I don't know if that's possible. Singing and playing is very difficult for me at this stage. When the night has come and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light you'll see. I know I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand. All right, that's it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.